saying big bags are coming back in fashion, I still see a lot of bargains. The multicolour line is rumoured to be reissued next year, so I predict that a lot of these multicolour pieces are gonna go up in value. Hey guys, welcome to my channel. I'm Jess. I was perusing the internet last night looking at pre-loved bags, as you do, and I thought I'd screenshot a few of these bags that I really love that I might share with you today. And let me know, do you love pre-loved shopping as well? I've noticed that recently, particularly bags from like 2014 to like 2019, you can find for really good deals because the styles have kind of been like cool, and then they're not like the hottest thing anymore, and they're not like super old like vintage. So anyways, I was on a website called Hock Your Frocks, and they had this very interesting Paris Salzburg embroidered Chanel flat bag. This bag is like honestly quite rare, and it's made up of felt, which a lot of people may say is not really worth it, but it does feature a lot of this like textile felting detail all over it, and it's a real collector's piece. It's $4,999, so it's not like super cheap, but I would say for a Chanel bag of this kind of detail, it's quite a find. And Hock Your Frocks, I believe they're in New South Wales, so I'll link them below as well. They kind of have periods where they don't sell bags and then they do, but at this stage I thought, yeah, that's like a very interesting collectible. If you collect Chanel bags, that could be a good one to just add to the collection. They also have a python bag, which I'm not a huge fan of exotics, to be honest, and I don't love python, but as you know guys, Chanel no longer do exotics, so again, this is quite like a rare piece. It's a coal snakeskin flap, it's a single flap, and it has the 2 grommets on the top, so I believe this would be suitable for crossbody as well, but it is a bit of a delicate material, but I just thought I'd point it out just in case, because I know a few of you guys have also said you really like snakeskin and python, so I thought I'd mention this bag. It's only $3,999, which for a Chanel exotic bag, one would say is like a pretty reasonable price, although I can see that it has some sagging to it as well. I was on Hermès last night, and they had a yellow Louis Vuitton bag. Now, I don't remember what this bag is called. It probably says in the description, but I think the reason why it's such a good price at $2,330, and everything I'm saying is in AUD, Australian, so yes, if you're in the US, you might have to do a conversion. Actually, some of these websites I'm mentioning do ship international as well, so if you do want to buy any of these bags, you totally can. So anyways, this bag, it's in yellow, which I think is why it's such a good price, but because it's in like new condition. It's a leather bag, which from Louis Vuitton these days, you know, they're going up to like over $5,000. And it just looks like a very practical bag. Now, I don't know if this would be everybody's cup of tea, but if you're in the market for a yellow mustard Louis Vuitton bag, I thought it was quite a good deal. And similarly, I found another Louis Vuitton bag for under $2,000, $1,200. It's the Pallas chain bag. I do think that there was like a point where this Pallas style was more popular. I think it came in a few different shapes, but these like chain Louis Vuitton bags, yeah, it's kind of a thing that maybe it's not as popular anymore, and this bag has been hanging on the website for over a week, so I thought at $1,200 for like a full-size Louis Vuitton bag, it's a pretty good deal, and it's not even like a vintage bag or anything. Like, it's a pretty modern bag. Perhaps it's from like, what does it say it's from? Doesn't say, but I feel like it could be from like the late 2010s. And then, well, I was on Stylish Top, and they had a really cheap Birkin on there. Cheap, I mean, it's still expensive, for $8,800 in blue Brighton with gold hardware. The reason this is cheap, I would say, is because it's a 35. And although people are saying big bags are coming back in fashion, I still see a lot of bargains, or, you know, at like literally half the price of retail for a Birkin on the Birkin 35s, even if they're not in super beat up condition. And I don't know if that's just in Australia. I know that in Japan, I couldn't really find a lot of good deals in Japan, surprisingly. As much as people say you can find good deals in Japan, maybe if you're going to more of those auctions or something, but in Australia, I feel like the pre-love market at the moment, you can find really good deals, particularly on Hermès bags. So the 35 size, it doesn't tend to be as popular, so I've seen them go for like under $12,000. But this one at $8,800, I would say it's it's priced like this because of the sagging and the beat up nature of it, but for someone that could be quite appealing as well. Blue Brighton, I actually have a piece in Blue Brighton. It's like this purpley blue tone. I mean, I quite like it. This one in particular, I believe, is in Togo, so it's a very popular Hermes leather as well. So yeah, I thought it was actually a pretty good deal for a Birkin, but yeah, I mean, 8,800, that's like half the price of a classic flap like these days, right? So yeah, there's that. And then on the same website, they had a really beautiful Constance. Now lately I've been kind of like more looking at the Constance, but I'm definitely not going to buy one anytime soon. But you know, I love just like browsing, and I quite like this one in the Vert Russo Vert Jade combination. Now the Constance is actually quite expensive now. I think in the boutique it's about $16,000 for the Evercolor leather, and for box it's about $20,000. So for the alligator kind of clasp at $19,500, it's actually like under retail, and this combination I imagine would be quite rare. I mean, most Hermes bags are quite rare because, especially with that like green exotic clasp, I thought the price was actually quite decent. I mean, it's really expensive still, but if you're in the market for something like an exceptional piece like this with a bit of exotic, it's quite low, the price. So yeah, I thought I'd point it out. It's also in the size 18, which is super popular, and the color I think would appeal to a lot of people because it's like a dark green, which could be styled a little bit more neutral. And just the clasp at the front is quite like, you know, quite a showstopper. And I also found a toolbox on Stylish Top in brand new condition for $5,700, which, yeah, the toolbox is a bag which is discontinued. I quite like the toolbox myself. I wouldn't mind getting one again. I actually at one point had a blue one. This was a few years ago, and I didn't keep it, but I kind of wish I kept it, and I bought mine pre-loved as well. But this one is in brand new conditions. I think if you're in the market for like a cute little yellow Hermes bag, this is a really good one to go for because it's not super beat up or anything, and the price would be like well under what a toolbox would sell for in the store. I do believe that the toolbox is discontinued, but I wouldn't be surprised if Hermes bought it back in the future. So yeah, I quite like this bag. I quite like the color. I don't know, I'm a bit like not too sure about yellow sometimes, but this is like a very cutesy yellow. It's like a soft yellow. Actually, Royal Bag Spa had a very gorgeous Takashi Murakami multicolor Maryland bag in really good condition. So the multicolor line is rumored to be reissued next year. So I predict that a lot of these multicolor pieces are gonna go up in value once that has launched next year. But you can still snag up a few good deals. I mean, the Maryland bag I remember seeing a few years ago for under $1,000, which yeah, it has gone up, I mean, on the pre-love market quite significantly. But at $2,300 these days, it's still not a bad price. And considering the condition is so good as well, like the Vachetta leather is quite like a nice honey. I do sometimes see the Maryland bag looking quite trashed as well. So I think it's a nice bag for the price. Sometimes you have to pay a bit more to get a nicer condition bag. And then they're on the same website, Royal Bag Spa, they actually had a pop-in court as well, which I feel like this style is actually coming back in fashion. I know that Louis Vuitton reissued, I forgot what it's called, Trevi or something. I don't know. It's the one that Angelina Jolie used to wear. What is that bag called? I'll put it on the screen. But this kind of looks like a similar shape. And the pop-in court, I find that usually the corners on the pre-love market, if you find them, the corners are like not holding up that well. Like the piping is like not doing that. It's usually all worn out. But this one in particular is not in the worst condition, and it's $1,150. So I think for like an everyday bag, it's a pretty good price. It's just like, it's like as much as a Coach bag at this point. And I really love the cherry zip detail as well in the pop-in court. I think it's so cute. Had a really gorgeous petite boîte chapeau in a leopard print with a lot of like cool detail, and it's 62% off the retail price, $3,300. I think if you're into leopard print, because I know a lot of people are like die-hard fans of leopard print, and it's kind of come back into fashion lately, this could be a cool piece to pick up. And you know, the boîte chapeau, I mean, is now quite expensive. It's going to be well over $3,300, and particularly for like a limited edition one. I found that a lot of like Petit Mal and boîte chapeau bags, like they don't hold their value on the pre-love market. You can find them for really good deals. So this one in particular, if you're into this print, I thought was a pretty good find. And also I find that Gucci bags don't really hold value anymore either. This denim one is actually quite a new bag. I remember it coming out only like 1 year ago or so. I don't know, like I remember it was pretty recent. And it's already like 50% off on the pre-love market. So if you love denim bags, I know that they're still trending. And this particular Jackie bag shape, I think is still trending too. 1,650 is a pretty good deal. And this one looks to be in really good condition. But I personally really love, they had this bag that was a camera bag. This is also in Royal Bag Spa in denim from Gucci. And this one is like around the $1,000 mark. I just love this one. It just has a lot of embroidery. I love the pearl detail on the button. And this is something that you don't see every day either. It doesn't shout like, and I like how it doesn't have strong logo on it as well, but it just has this like beautiful embroidery detail. And I really kind of miss this era of Gucci when Alessandro Michele like brought a lot of like embroidery to the bags and like glitz and glam. It doesn't seem to be as much like that anymore. I also really enjoyed like the pillows and stuff they used to do. I thought was so cute. So I think this is a really nice piece, and honestly I think we'll look back on Alessandro Michele's Gucci era bags and they'll become quite sought after again, I do think, because it was such like a distinct era, similar to like the multicolor era from Louis Vuitton, I think anyway. And finally, I just wanted to mention one of my favorite Birkins I've been eyeing at the moment. This is a Birkin 25 from Timeless Luxuries, and I do believe it is still $28,900, so that is a premium, but I think that the price, yeah, it's expensive, but it's not the worst. I have seen worse, but yeah, I don't know if I'd personally want to spend this much, but I do love the combination of the rose pourpre with the chocolate. I think that is gorgeous with the gold hardware, because you don't often see gold hardware with rose pourpre as well, but I think the chocolate makes it a bit more like neutral and everyday, fuss free. So I thought this was quite a unique special order, and I just love looking at special order combinations and dreaming. So yeah, anyways, they were my pre-love picks of the week. I hope you enjoyed it, guys. Let me know, have you found any pre-love deals recently? I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye!